Today, I'm going to be torturing myself with this Mondo Llama Gem by Number art kit. I said that I would probably never do another one of these, but this one has an adorable cake on it, so I had to do it. I went ahead and took it out of the box, and I was a little shocked. I've never done a poster this size before. I threw away the instructions since I already know what I'm doing, and then I unpackaged all of the gems. Why are there so many? That is so many gems. I got even more scared at this point, but I'm excited to cover this entire picture in diamonds and really make it sparkle. They were criminal though. They only gave me one little container and one gem thing to do this entire thing with, but at least the diamonds are sparkly. So now it's time to take on the task that will probably never end of putting these tiny little dots on one by one and make the entire thing sparkly. I wanted to show you how long it takes to just put one gem on so you kind of understood the process. Like that was one gem out of all the ones that I have to do. And don't get me wrong, okay? This is a love-hate relationship. I do think it's really satisfying to put on all the gems and I loved the sparkly end result. But there were several times in this process where I was questioning my sanity and questioning why I was doing this in the first place. But after you put on all the gems, you just really see all the sparkles and it makes your heart happy and it makes you forget all of the pain of putting all of the gems on. Thankfully, I found a couple more containers from past projects that I've done, so I was able to use multiple at a time, but I actually just ended up doing one color all at once. I've heard people say before that you should do it in sections and kind of section off and like do different gem colors at the same time, but my brain really can't work that way, so I just decided to move around with one color gem at a time and just fill out all of the ones that needed that number. That way I wasn't going back and forth, and I did miss a couple here and there, but for the most part this strategy worked. The only experience I've had with Gem by Number kits is this same brand Mondo Llama, and for these ones they're just tiny little circles. They're not like the art kits where they're the squares and you can kind of put like multiple of the same color on at one time. You have to do all of these ones individually, and this is the only experience I've had with these. I did little Halloween kits last year and those turned out really cute, but they were also really small. I think they were like 6 by 4, and this poster is huge compared to that, but those ones took me 4 hours each to do, so I thought that these were going to take a really long time. I'd say overall this ended up taking me a little over 8 hours in total, which wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be considering that the little ones took me 4 hours. But I don't know, it's a weird process. It's kind of like just not for my brain. I think I'm too addicted to getting something done that it makes me want to sit there and do this all at the same time. But it was really satisfying to see each little section get done. So far I've done the cherries and the stars, and now it's time to do the boring big part, which is the cake. It's all kind of just cream colored gems and there's a whole bunch of them, so I knew this one was going to be kind of the most tedious part since the colors aren't very fun to look at. But yeah, I like the process. I just think it's really hard for me mentally, but it does teach me how to take breaks and be patient. I also recently got a puppy. We've had a new puppy the last 3 months now, and so every 2 hours I have to take a break and go hang out with him anyway, which was actually really helpful because it helped me break up this project into mandatory breaks, where usually I would just sit there until I was really miserable and unhappy and just doing the same thing for hours and hours and hours on end because I have no self-control. So it was actually really nice to have that mandatory break and take some time between each section. Otherwise, I think this would have actually drove me insane. I also did it all in time lapse, which is way more satisfying to watch back. It is so satisfying to see all of these go on so fast, but it is also really misleading to watch back. I'm like, wow, this was so satisfying. Like, it wasn't like that satisfying. I'm a huge immediate gratification girly. I like an instant result, but I guess like who doesn't? You know what I mean? But yeah, I think I've decided that these really aren't for me. I think they're fun, I think they're cute, and when there's a cute design like this, I'm kind of a sucker for it. But I don't know that I'll be doing one of these again anytime soon, and if I do, just know that I'm in the trenches, okay? Know that I must not be doing well to have committed myself to one of these again after this. But yeah, comment down below if you've ever tried one of these and if you would. They are quite the commitment, but the sparkles at the end are hypnotic. Now I've got the worst layer down and it's time for the colors that I'm most excited about. I love the color pink, so I was really excited to start putting down some of the fun colors of this cake. And this is the little frosting section. Now, here's a conversation that I don't like to have because it seems kind of controversial to a lot of people, but AI. I could not tell if this design was designed by AI. There were some things about it that to me did not make sense, but I tried to do a deep dive and kind of look up how this was made, like if there was an artist involved, if they were just, but like I couldn't find anything about it at all. And it's kind of like confusing because you wouldn't want to not buy something that was made by a real artist just because you thought it was AI. But I could not tell. Like, I kind of feel like it must be. Like, there's things about it that don't make sense to me. The colors are a little strange. The bow goes behind one of the cherries. And then the top of it, the frosting, like the pink frosting, just kind of like disappears. But yeah, I couldn't find anything about whether or not it was. So comment down below whether or not you think this gem painting was AI generated. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about that and whether or not you think it was. I think it would be so cool to create a gem painting and like have it converted into a gem kit. Like that would be so cool to have your art made into sparkly little gems. So that's kind of a goal. I save all of the extra gems I have from these kits. So now I have a whole bunch of leftover gems and I think I should try to incorporate them into the art somehow. The only trick with that is that the way that these work is that the backing is sticky, so the gems themselves aren't sticky, so I would have to individually glue each tiny little gem onto something else, and that would make it a bit of a pain in the butt. But I do think that it would be worth it because the sparkles at the end, like, you guys just wait and see what this looks like. It is so sparkly and mesmerizing, and you know that I love a good sparkle, so I think that the pain would be worth it to put on extra sparkles onto certain art pieces. So I think that's something I'm going to experiment with, and I think that would be cool, a cool way to use the leftover gems, because they gave me so many. There were bags that I didn't even open. I'm not sure why they give that many. I mean, I get that they just want to make sure you have enough, but like, what are you going to do with these? Like, don't lose these. These are little plastic pieces. Anyway, I went ahead and continued filling out the rest of the colors, and then after that, it was finally time to do the bow. I find that the more defined pieces are way more satisfying, like the bow is more contained of a design, so to fill that out is way more satisfying than doing the entire layers of cake. So this one was a lot more fun and it went a lot faster to do this way, so I was really glad that I did end up sectioning it all off and doing it in little pieces at a time. Now there's only one color gem left to do. I saved the best for last. I accidentally forgot it was sticky and touched it, but I saved the pink ones, which are totally out of focus, but they are my favorite color ones. It's just cute light pink, so I wanted to do that one last because I felt like it would be the most satisfying to my brain. So now it's time to do all of the rest of the pieces, and I have a confession. As I was doing these last gems, I found a couple of the number 4 gems, which were like the hotter pink gem, and I just went over them with this color. And I don't, I know that's crazy. Like, it would have been so easy to go back and get the right color gem and fill it in. But it was only like 3 or 4 gems that I missed of a different color. And at this point, I really had it with this. And I just wanted to be done. So I just filled it in with the same color. So here it is completed. And now there's more of my favorite color pink in it. It is so satisfying to see it done, and it really does transform with all of the gems. I love the sparkle effect, and it looks so magical. I tried to show you how it shimmers with movement. It is so pretty. If you stayed to the end, comment this emoji. I wanted to show you it with the flashlight on it because it really sparkles this way. So here's a little treat for you if you made it to the end. Thanks so much for watching. Comment if you liked this chattier style of video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!